These things are like butter. Guys, this is Beige. Excuse you, car. So rude. Hey everyone, Katie here from Thrift Your Heart Out, and today I'm back with a totally different video for you guys, but I'm hoping that you'll enjoy it. So in case you don't know, in addition to my love of finding fashion and clothing and accessories on a bargain, I also really love makeup shopping on a bargain. So me and the drugstores are like this. I love perusing the aisles for what's new. And if you guys don't know, January is the time to go to the drugstores because all of the brands are coming out with their new items for the spring, and there's just too much good stuff to be had. So I've just been kind of popping into Walgreens, popping into Ulta, and a couple of other places to see what they have, and I came away with quite a large haul. So I actually shared on Instagram kind of part of that haul and asked if you guys wanted to see what I've been picking up lately, and you guys said yes, so we're just gonna get to it. So I ended up putting everything that I got into my Victoria's Secret sale bag, and there is a lot to share with you guys. Let me just show you. That is totally the thumbnail, by the way. Yeah, there's a lot to get to, so I'm just going to dive right in. So the thing that is sitting on top here is the biggest item, and it is the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Contouring Palette Contour. Like, a little redundant, guys, we get it. But this is in Caramel Toffee, and the reason that I chose this one over the lighter shade is because of that yellow powder that's in there. I know that that's really good for setting your under eye concealer and for brightening under the eyes, which I am all about. So that's why I chose this one. I figured even if I didn't use the contour shade as much, I would totally use up that yellow powder. And I swear I've tried tutorial after tutorial and I just cannot seem to master contouring. And the people that do it make it look so darn easy. So if you guys happen to know of any that are like really basic tutorials, especially for paler girls like myself, please leave it in the comments below. I would love to go and check it out. So I figured this is kind of a basic two-step, very simple contouring regimen here. So I can't wait to give this one a go. So next up from L'Oreal are a couple of eyeshadows that I'm super excited to try, and they are these adorable little mono color Riche eyeshadows. I think that's the name of them. So I picked it up in this gorgeous blue color called Grand Blue number 211, and then also in Pan au Chocolat, I believe. I don't know, I don't do accents or anything. But this is in 207, and seriously guys, these things, if I can get it open, oh my god. Don't fail me now. Okay. These things are like butter. Like, oh my god, it is so gorgeous. I'll do a close-up so you guys can see. But they just feel so silky smooth. They have a lot of pigment to them. Like, I cannot wait to give this one a go. And I actually thought maybe together these would be kind of gorgeous. I actually saw a picture from Makeup Geek on their Instagram, and I'll make sure to insert it if I can here, using a really vibrant blue color, like all over the lid, but then kind of more brown and transition colors in the crease. So I was just totally inspired by that and really want to give that a go. Like, look at that blue. Oh, it's just gorgeous. And I've been seeing this cobalt blue like everywhere. So I think I might have to give that a try using this guy. So next up is another item from Wet n Wild, and it is this brand new to the drugstore Proline Graphic Marker Eyeliner. And let me tell you guys, I actually swatched this in the store, which I know is a big no-no, but whatever. I ended up buying it, and it is black as night. Like, that is so amazing for drugstore eyeliner, because I hate when you get something and it's got a really great applicator, like it's got a great point or, you know, a brush or something, but the eyeliner itself is kind of gray. Like, I don't like that at all, but this is super dark. And I actually saw Casey Holmes here on YouTube do an entire full face first impressions using all of the new Wet n Wild stuff for the spring, and she used this and she said that she loved it. So I kind of take her word as gospel. I think she's amazing. She does some really great tutorials and hauls here on YouTube. So if she says it's good, it must be good. I guess I'll just keep talking about Wet n Wild stuff, try to keep it in some sort of order. So the next thing that I got is actually a repurchase, but I had lost my previous one. So they came out with a new formula of it, so I thought it would be a great time to pick up another one. So I'm talking about this Color Icon blush, and it's in the shade Mellow Wine. And actually I'd been looking for kind of a more toned down blush for the fall and winter, and I think I'd always had it in my mind, like, darn it, I thought I had like a beautiful wine colored blush, but it's because I've lost it somewhere along the way. So I'm happy to try out the new formula and just kind of see if it has more staying power or if it's more pigmented, because I tell you, for $3 or whatever this was, it's a great blush to get. So you guys might want to go and check it out. So the last Wet n Wild item that I picked up was probably the one that I was most excited for, and it is this Ultimate Brow Mascara, and it actually says bow to the brow, which I think is kind of adorable. But I had been wanting to find a drugstore alternative to the Benefit Gimme Brow, which is about $22, $23, and while it is awesome, like, I love it and I use it pretty regularly, I don't know if you guys know, but I actually have no pigment from here down on this eyebrow, so it's just pure blonde, just like the rest of my hair that's over there. So when I do have a few extra minutes, I do like to try to fill in my brows, just because it kind of adds a little more life to my face and kind of brings the entire makeup look together. So I was really happy to see that they had released this, and while it is a good formula, let me see if I can kind of pop it out here. It is a good formula. The brush is rather large. So let me show you guys. So it's pretty darn big, and I'll show you a comparison with the Benefit Gimme Brow brush, which is like teeny tiny. And the reason that's good is because you can get into all of those little crevices and the arc of your eyebrow. So it's got some pros and cons here, because I was putting it on today and it's kind of like clean up on aisle 5. Like, I ended up with smudges all over the place. It was kind of crazy. But if you have the time to kind of put into it and clean up where needed, I think it's a pretty decent brow mascara and definitely worth a try. So next up is something that I'd actually been wanting forever, but it was always sold out at Ulta every time I went. But lo and behold, I went with my sister a couple of weeks ago and they had restocked everything, so you better believe I picked it up right away. So what I'm talking about is the NYX Liquid Suede Lippy, and this one is in Soft Spoken. So this is the one that everybody and their mother has been talking about on Instagram, because it's supposed to be a good dupe for the Kylie Jenner lippy that she's so famous for. So while that didn't totally sway me to get it, I was kind of influenced a little bit. But it is a great shade in particular. This color is gorgeous because it's a great kind of everyday color, but it's also a little vampy just because of the formula of it. So I'm all about it. I've been wearing it kind of to death lately, and usually I'll just wear it with kind of a very simple bronze kind of one eyeshadow look on the eyes with a very simple winged eyeliner, and then the brown lipstick, and I'm good to go, and I just love how it looks. So I might be trying some more of these. If you guys have some shades that you're crazy about in this line, make sure to leave them in the comments below. So the next thing that I got is actually a repurchase. I want to say that I've bought this about 2 or 3 times previously, and it is the Maybelline Dewy and Smooth Fit Me Foundation. Guys, this is bae. Like, I love it so much, and I even tried the one for the matte and poreless, because I thought, oh, I like kind of that porcelain look where everything's kind of blurred away and it's all kind of perfect, but it was a little too drying on me. So I went ahead and tried the Dewy and Smooth, which is actually supposed to be for people who have dry skin. It's kind of funny, but it just gives a lovely kind of glow to the face. I'm actually wearing it today. This is my go-to, just every single day. This is what I reach for. It doesn't oxidize on the face and turn orange, which is always nice. It lasts for a fair amount of time. I want to say I can wear this through an entire work day, and it doesn't break up, it doesn't fade away, which is nice. And I picked this one up at Walmart for $6, which is the cheapest place that I found it, but I know sometimes Ulta and Rite Aid do 40% off of Maybelline, so just keep an eye out for that because you can get a really good deal. So I went ahead and repurchased yet another face item from Maybelline because it is my ride or die. If you guys haven't tried this thing yet, you need to. So it is the Instant Age Rewind Eraser for dark circles. And of course I'm wearing it today, so I usually just do it right under the eyes here, down the bridge of my nose, in between my eyebrows and my chin, just to kind of brighten things up a little bit. But the thing about it is I had purchased this in the shade Light, and I liked it, but it was a little too yellow for my face. So it's kind of like I can make it work, but I was like, God, there's got to be a lighter shade that's actually brightening. And lo and behold, they have Fair. So I went ahead and got this, and I can tell you already, this is just, amazing. Like, even though it says age rewind, don't be fooled by that. Even if you're in your early 20s or teens, it just helps kind of give that glow and cover up those little lines that you might have on your face. So I am all about this. It's totally under $10. Again, you can get a really good deal on it, and I swear you're gonna love it. So the last item that I picked up from Maybelline is kind of a reformulation of one of their really popular items that they have, and it is this Color Tattoo Concentrated Crayon, and I got it in the shade Barely Beige. So I love the color tattoos. I think they're awesome. I have about 5 or 6. So I actually picked up the crayon in the same version that I have it in the little pot here. So while I do love these, I think that there's a couple of cons to them. One of them being that they dry out super quickly. I don't know if you guys can tell, but it's totally breaking up around the edges there, and I've only had this for like 2 months maybe. So even though I try to like screw on the top really tightly, try not to let the air get to it, it does just happen naturally, and you guys can see how much product I still have left. And then also the other con is that you're dipping your finger in there and then you're putting it on. Oh, I don't know, I'm kind of anti-bacteria stuff happening. So when I saw that they put it in a crayon form, I kind of thought, hey, that's a great idea because it keeps all the product protected in there and you can just kind of unscrew it when needed. So I'm really excited for this. I already know I love the shade. It's a beautiful champagne color that's really good for kind of the inner corners here up on the brow line there, just to kind of brighten things up a little bit. Or I really like using these as a base. So I might be trying out some other shades. I'm kind of crazy about this one already. So next up are a few items that I picked up from Catrice Cosmetics, which is a new line that they're carrying at Ulta. And I had seen Tati or Glam Life Guru here on YouTube do an entire kind of hot or not on Catrice Cosmetics. So she's like I love her. I think that she is amazing. She's gorgeous, and just everything she says, she seems so knowledgeable on. So I tend to take her word as gospel too, so I was definitely taking my notes during that video of like, okay, I definitely need to check that one out. Okay, maybe leave that one. So I was excited to actually place an order on Ulta.com and check out some new stuff. So the first thing that I got was this Illuminating blush, and this is in the shade Kiss Me Ken. Kind of adorable. So while the color is really pretty, it's a very bright, illuminating pink, I'm actually wearing it today. It's not very pigmented. So I think if you did this one over a more pigmented blush, it would give it a nice glow, which is kind of nice. Because I know some people do that where they do kind of a darker shade toward the back and then a lighter blush kind of on the apples of the cheeks. So I think this might be a good version of blush to do that with, but just kind of as an everyday, not so crazy about it, but it is nice and it was really inexpensive. So I've been kind of obsessed with trying to find a beautiful cranberry eyeshadow color without actually going to MAC and buying the shade called Cranberry, because I think they're up to like $16, $17 now, which is just a little crazy for an eyeshadow. So I saw that Catrice Cosmetics had this velvet matte eyeshadow and it's in Owl Burgundy. So I'm sure you guys can see it's really, really dark, but in the pan, it does come off as kind of a really rich burgundy color, but then when I swatched it and put it on my hand, it reads as more of like a brown, like a really rich brown. So it's still not that perfect cranberry shade that I'm looking for. So again, I would love to hear your guys' suggestions if you know of any at the drugstore that are just like single pan eyeshadows that are like a really beautiful, rich, almost satin finish of a cranberry color. I would love to hear it because I'm still on the hunt for one. So even though I'm not totally crazy about that matte eyeshadow that I just showed you guys, I am kind of bananas over their liquid metal eyeshadows. Like, holy moly. I don't even have it open and you guys can see how much it's like glistening inside the pan. So it looks like a mermaid's tail. Like, it is gorgeous. So I picked it up in the shade 030 We Are the Champagnes. So look, it's just gorgeous. So this was one specifically that Tati had recommended that she really liked, so of course I had to like put it in my cart online. But I was kind of surprised when I wore it the other day. It reads as more of a gold rather than a champagne, so it's a little bit darker than you see here in the pan, and I had noticed by the end of the day it had like completely worn off. So I don't know, I might just have to try it with a couple of different primers, kind of see what makes it stick around a little bit longer, but I'm not returning it. Like, it is just too gorgeous. So the last thing that I picked up from Catrice Cosmetics is this little lip crayon here, and it's actually more of a balm, and it's in the shade 010 Rose and Woody. We're just gonna glaze right over that. So, I don't know if I mentioned to you guys before, I have really pigmented lips. Like, I know I shouldn't complain about it because they're really pink naturally, but it's really hard for me to find just an everyday nude color that I can just throw on without thinking about it. Because most of the nude shades that you find in the store are more kind of pinky in tone and really light, so most people can just throw them on and they're perfect, but on me, you don't even see the color. So I was like, oh, let me just try this one out, see how it goes. It had some really good reviews online, and I am in love with this color. I can actually kind of see it on my lips. It's enough that I can kind of wear it every day, but I don't have to worry about like breaking out a mirror to try to get it in the lines perfectly. And it smells like cocoa. Yeah, it's a total bonus. So I'm really excited for this one. Again, I may have to try out some different shades. Alright, so last but not least for this ginormous beauty haul is probably the item that kind of set in motion my craze for finding new makeup this season, because I'd seen it talked about on YouTube and Instagram for so long, and I finally said, that's it, I have to go get it. So what I'm talking about is the CoverGirl True Naked eyeshadow palette, and this is in the shade Roses. And it says on there, shades like a leading $50 eyeshadow palette. So obviously they're talking about the Urban Decay Naked 3, I believe, that has all of those beautiful kind of golden pinky tones in it. So I told myself actively not to get the one that was nudes because I have about 1,000,001 nude shades. So I said, that's it, you're going to try something a little different, and it's actually what I have on my eyes today, and I am kind of crazy about it. Like, it's kind of gorgeous. So it's got these really beautiful kind of ivory shades over here, and it actually has the second one in, is called Champagne, which is one that they've had previously in their line, but it's a totally different formula. It's a lot more shimmery than the one that they had previously, which I am all about. And then they have kind of these mid-tone ones that are really good for the crease, which is what I did today, and then some of these darker ones over here that are really shimmery and beautiful. So I think that you could take this from day to night all in the same palette, which is awesome. So I was really happy to finally pick this one up. And again, you can get some really good deals at the drugstore, because while I was there, they were doing buy one, get one half off. And then I know I've seen in the Sunday paper that they have like $3 off of 2 eyeshadows or more or something like that. So you can really kind of make out like a bandit. So I would say try this one out before going to get the Urban Decay palette, because you'll save yourself a boatload of money. Alright you guys, I hope you enjoyed seeing everything that I picked up at the drugstore lately, and I hope I did an okay job. You know, this is new territory for me, but I had a lot of fun, and maybe every now and again I'll kind of sprinkle in some of these beauty videos because I get a lot of joy from it, and I have enough beauty stuff to talk about. So let me know in the comments below if you liked it, and if there's an item that you really like seeing, or if you'd like to see me talk about it more. I'd love to hear from you guys. Make sure to leave it in the comment. And as always, thanks for watching and happy thrifting. Bye!